right, if you're already here, I always come a little bit early, so just getting settled into your space. And I have, of course, I'm sitting on a bolster, but you don't need that. You can sit on a rolled up blanket. I do have 2 blocks and a yoga strap. Again, you don't need those. You could very well go without, but a yoga strap, a belt or like a long towel could substitute as that. Your blocks could be like a step stool or a textbook. So we can make do with whatever you have at home. So don't feel like you have to have all the perfect props. I just want you to be comfortable. Wait a couple more minutes here before we get started. Not a couple, 5 more minutes. You have 5 more minutes to run around and gather your things, or just veg out and just sit for a little bit and start to settle in like I need to do. Too drummy for me right now. Nice. This one's called Mother's Wingspan. And if you're just joining, just getting settled in your space, any props that you might want to have, a yoga strap or a belt or blocks, yoga blocks or substitute blocks, something comfortable to sit on, making sure that your hips are maybe just a little bit higher than your knees. You don't have to sit on anything. You could sit, I gotta sit on something, right? The floor, a chair. I just don't mean you don't have to be boosted up. I think I said this on Monday, whenever I'm down on the floor, I see all the dust nuggets that need to be swept up. And I said, usually after I do my yoga practice in this area, I end up vacuuming afterwards or dusting, but I didn't do it on Monday because things have just been so crazy. So they are still here with me. Couple more minutes. Turn off my alerts here. So if you're just joining us again, just getting settled into your space wherever it feels comfortable to be sitting, and whatever supports that you need to add, blankets or bolsters or pillows, a yoga strap or a belt will work fine. Know a block or something would probably be good, or a textbook or like a step stool or something that you can use. Perhaps you might be okay without it, but just having something nearby that you can use. I don't normally plan out my yoga sessions, so I never really know what's going to come into my head. for live streaming yoga from Tiana's living room. I just wanted to, just provide a place where we can gather, at least for a little bit of normalcy. It helps me to be a little bit more centered as well, just to teach and be practicing with you all, even though I can't see you. And just so you know, I can only see numbers of, like, literally a number of how many people are showing up. So I don't know who's here, who's not. Like, it doesn't show your name. So just so you know, you've got some anonymity here. If you ever want to let me know that you were here, or you're liking it, or it's helpful, you can always leave comments later on in the recorded session. And all of the sessions are recorded. They're stuck there on YouTube. If you go to my channel and then you scroll down to the playlist there are free yoga sessions, but then there's live stream yoga. You can always find these later on. So if you can't show up for the specific time, or you want to watch them like tomorrow or over the weekend, those are there for you. So they will always be there for you to have your own little practice with somebody that you know. We know there's lots of free yoga out there, but sometimes you don't know what they're gonna do, you don't trust them. So yeah, anything else? Okay, last thing, as always, just be kind to your body, practice ahimsa. We call that non-violence, contentment, or santosha. So just being content with where you are in your practice today. And then some compassion for yourself. So just if things are achy or hurting, or just, enter in some kindness and compassion as you're going through, and don't force yourself to do anything that doesn't feel nourishing. All right, with that, let's go. So, I'm gonna get in your comfortable seat. We're just gonna start with a little bit of mindful movement. So we'll draw the shoulders up towards your ears on your in-breath, and roll them back and down on your out-breath. Kind of think of this as do, and then don't do. So maybe a couple more rounds. Great. If you want a few more, you're welcome to continue. If you need a little shimmy, shake out, you can shimmy, shake a little bit more before we settle in. All right, so if you're ready, allow the eyes to close, keep them open in a steady gaze, whatever helps you to tune in to your body and tune out to the distractions. Shoulders dropping away from the ears rising from the shoulders, crown of the head lifting, and then the chin just resting in ever so slightly. And while you're trying to create that length, letting go of the rigidity or the need to overdo, you don't need that right now. This is a place of centering and losing the doingness and finding a little bit of respite from the external noise. Start to embody, or call this the embodiment practice. Noticing the ground coming up to support you from your feet to your seat. And can you feel that centeredness of the sit bones, or does one side feel a little bit heavier than the other? And if you feel that, what do you have to do to find that center? What does that mean for you? From there we rise up. Tuning into our other senses, noticing the sounds of the room, perhaps the sound of your own breath. Sensation of the air flowing in and out the tips of the nostrils. You may notice the temperature on the way in is a bit different than the temperature on the way out. Practice a breath practice that goes along with a mantra. So on the inhale, you're going to silently or out loud, depends on where you are, say the word so, and on the exhale, hum. So if I was saying this out loud, it would be on the inhale, so, hum. I find it easier to do the silent version. That way you're just breathing with it. So on the way in, hum on the way out. Keep going with your own rhythm. We'll do maybe 4 rounds, 5 rounds. Hum or exhale, letting go of the practice and just noticing how you feel. Open the eyes if you haven't already. Start to get back. I almost forgot where I was for a second. You're lucky I realized it. That's actually something I use for my mantra in my meditation, so I could have very easily slipped away right there. All right, I always like to pause at this moment to create an intention for your day. So you can bring your hands to prayer position, you can have them in your lap, however you like them. And just pausing to create an intention. How are you going to show up today towards yourself, towards each other, or towards the planet? Or something that includes all three. Something I always think about gratitude or contentment, kindness, but don't let my mind fill you. I want you to find your own. Another moment where I could just fall away and sit and intend for a long time. Anyway, let's bring the palms together if they're not already. We'll meet here in the middle. You're going to spread your fingers, and then you're going to try to bring the base of your palms down towards your belly button. When you feel like they start to separate or it feels uncomfortable in your hands, just stop, okay? Elbows are out a little bit, chest rising. Full breath in and out. From here, we're going to reach up towards the sky, so a little bit of pressure of those hands as you're reaching. And then separate, exhale, cactus arms. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Rising up, in breath. Maybe the chin lifts a little bit, maybe the head rises. So it just depends on what you need today. We're going to pause here on the outstretch and head the opposite direction. So rising up. Palms meet together in the center and exhale right down your middle. Good, 2 more. So a little bit of pressure as you're coming down, just enough, not too much. Last one, I think. I always lose count. Good, we'll meet in the middle, pausing here again for 1 full breath, elbows out, chest rising. Stand out, relax, clasp the hands, we'll start a figure 8. So I've been trying this one where you keep the forearms together and you kind of just move through the wrist. So you'll feel that in a different space than if you do more of a open, broad kind of figure 8. So try one out, see if you like it, and if you don't, try the other one. If you don't like either, well, screw you, just kidding. I didn't just say that. Okay, pause in the center. And then we're heading the other way. Getting a little loopy here, teaching by myself these days. All right, and then we're gonna pause in the center. Let's do this. We're gonna send the palms outward. We're gonna reach to the sky. When we get there, we're gonna let go of your hands and grasp onto your right wrist. Take it up and exhale over like a morning side stretch. Good, inhale back up. Grab onto the left wrist, inhale up and exhale over. Good, inhale up and exhale, we come back down into cactus arms. Okay, we're gonna clasp the hands and I'm gonna ask you to switch the clasp. I know that takes some memory and trying to figure out which one you just did. It'll feel awkward, let's put it that way. You're gonna take the palms outward and upward this time again. Inhale up. This time we're gonna grasp onto your left wrist first. Inhale up and exhale over. When you're ready to inhale, back up. grasp onto the other one. Inhale again, exhale over. We're inhaling back up, and then we're going to come out into cactus arms. Exhale. All right, now shaky shake off. Okay, let's take one hand to the floor. So if the floor is really far away, put a block or something to support you. We're going to drop that shoulder out of the ear, and you're going to reach up with the left arm. Now you might decide that looking down feels better today, perhaps looking forward, or maybe looking up. So just if you're choosing, just be cautious which direction you go, and don't crank your neck. We're going to breathe in one more time. Reach as you send your left sit bone down. And exhale, push the floor away from you. You're boosting yourself back up. Take that left hand to the outside of the right thigh and take your right arm up and over. And then you can decide looking forward, up, or down, which feels best. Find some ease in your effort wherever you are. One more breath. Send your right sit bone down. And then we're going to exhale back up. Take that hand to the outside of your right hip or thigh. And you're into this rotation. So from the collarbones out to the shoulder tips, spacious. Breathing. And when you're ready, come back to center. And just pause for a notice of what's going on, sensations, one side of the rib cage versus the other. Okay, other side. Take your left hand down to the floor. Bend the elbow a little bit. Take the opposite arm up. That'll be your right arm. And decide where you're going to look, down, forward, or up. Find some ease in your effort. Relax those jaws. Push the floor away from you. Send your right sit bone down. Reach a little bit farther with that right arm. And then push the floor away to get you back up. Take that hand, your right hand, to the outside of your left thigh and reach your left arm up. Did I say left? Left thigh. Left arm up. Again, I'm having to retrain myself now of actually doing left and right versus flipping it. All right, figure out where you're going to take your gaze for one more breath. Send your left sit bone down, reach with your left arm. Exhale up, take that hand, your left hand, to the outside of your left hip. And now you're into that rotation. Again, don't force or wrench yourself over if you got osteoporosis or osteopenia. One more breath, spacious through the front chest. And then we're exhaling back to center. And shake out. Oh, all right. I haven't really been doing any neck stretches, but let's try this. If these neck stretches that we do don't feel great on you when we do them, I'll ask you just to do kind of a side rotation and side bend. Okay, so let's see. Take your right arm up, pat yourself on the back. Take your left hand to the top of your head. I won't ask you to quack like a duck, but you could, because I can't see you. Okay, you're going to take your gaze over to the left and start to gaze down towards your left hip. So my top hand is not yanking me down there, it's just a guiding support. And you could certainly even do it without it, yeah? One more breath. Now to come out of this, you're pressing the tips of your left fingertips along the back of the head. Give you a little resistance to come back up. And then we release. All right. Opposite side, let's reach the left arm up, pat yourself on the back. Take the right hand to the top of the head. Quack like a duck. Take your gaze down towards the right. Good. So left elbow staying skyward. Stop quacking if you're still quacking. Find some ease in your effort. Don't force anything. One more breath. We're gonna now press the tips of the fingers, the right fingers, to the back of the head as you give a little resistance to come back up. And then we release. Okay. All of these like front stress muscles, yeah, the front line body, and certainly neck stuff. Okay, I'm going to take us onto our hands and knees. I'm going to get rid of the bolster. And use a blanket under your knees. I don't know what you got at home. Maybe you're on the carpet and it doesn't really matter. And let me just make sure, oh, I'm still here. Okay, so let's come on. The knees are gonna be a little bit wider than your hips. And let's do barrel rolls today. And if you've been with me and you know you do like something else, you're welcome to do that. But imagine you're inside of a big barrel. I was thinking this morning, like maybe it's a mimosa barrel, but you're just not drinking out of it, okay? So you're gonna slide to the side of the barrel, lift to the top of the barrel, over to the other side of the barrel, and down to the bottom of the barrel. This is where that image of the barrel roll comes from, so that you're finding each part of that barrel as you move your body. And just follow your breath. Maybe the next time you come to the top of your barrel, you've got a good stop spot, pause there, and then head the other direction. And maybe the next time you reach the top of your barrel, then we'll pause there. Okay, coming back to center, we're going to take one foot back into a half plank, so you're going to keep that foot on the floor. Spread the palms out, so spread the fingers out. Push the floor away from you. You'll see my shoulders get broad. On the exhale, we're going to travel towards your hands. Exhale. Belly skin draws inward. Inhale, we shift back towards your heel. Next time heading back into the heel, we're going to pause there. Press the floor away from you. Shoulders get broad. Back of the neck is long, so I'm not just dropping the neck down. When I say if you're dropping the head down, you're probably thinking too much. Keep breathing. On the inhale, belly expands. On the exhale, belly draws inward. All right, and then we come back through center. Shake off those wrists or any other parts of your body before we head to the other side, or just head there if you're ready. Respread the fingers. Take the opposite foot back. Again, we're going to travel through an exhale as we head towards the hands, and then an inhale as you head back into your heel. And next time we head back into the heel, let's pause there. You're going to press the floor away from you with your hands, get the back of the neck long. Still breathing, belly expands on the in-breath. Belly draws in on the out-breath. All right, let's come back through center. We'll take the knees open wide, and you can take child's, puppy dog, or kneeling. So child's might be more like this, so you might rest your hands under your head. Puppy dog would be more with your tush lifted, arms outstretched, which is usually my favorite because I'm often so tight in my kind of chest and biceps. So full breath in wherever you've chosen. Exhale, mouth open, jaws relaxed, like you make this ha sound. If you'd like another breath there, you're welcome to. If you're ready to come back up, we'll meet back at the top. And I think I'm going to bring some blocks in, so I hope you have some, and if you don't, that's okay. Again, you could use like textbooks. Like, I'm looking at these books, I'm like, textbooks? Who has textbooks? But yeah, or step stool will work. So I'll show you where we're going, and then you can decide where you want to be. All right, so let's take the left foot forward if you're coming into this lunge position. And you can certainly do this without the blocks. You can just stay high, maybe up on your thigh. So I'm going to come forward. Inhale, open up the chest. And then we're going to slide back, exhale into half Hanuman. So I'm going to show this from the side in a moment. Okay, so keep going if you know this one. You've been with me before. So inhale, draw the shoulders down, open up the chest. Exhale, we shift back to half Hanuman. Toes come towards you, heel goes away. Maybe last one through the we hold in each for a bit. Good. This time we're gonna pause here in the front. You know, just get to spread your toes out maybe, just give a little toe spread there. If you've got blocks, you could be on the high side of the blocks, you could take them down low. What I want is that you're not collapsing over your leg. So you want to still keep high. All right, we're gonna make some action here of an isometric hold. You're gonna try to draw the front foot back and the back knee forward. So they're kind of coming this way, but they're not actually moving. So you're gonna pull them in. You'll see me do that now. And then release, inhale, drop. Exhale, pull them in. Inhale, drop. Exhale, pull them in. Exhale, drop. Or inhale, drop. All right, full breath here, in and out. We're gonna shift all the way back. You can use your blocks or start to take your body back there. You're gonna reach through your heel. So I might start up just tall here, and you could certainly do this without the blocks here and start to come forward. You'll see my back stays relatively flat. Yes. I think that's my stop point because my hamstring is talking to me. So again, make it feel nourishing. Just keep reaching through your left heel and your left sit bone in opposite directions. One more breath. All right, come out of that. And I'm going to invite you to either, if you have your blocks, to bring them there. You can also do this on the floor. So I'll show a couple different versions you could do. So you could bring the elbows down on the blocks or the floor. And then knees are going to be open wide. You're going to send your belly down and start to bring the triceps back, or the hands back. I've never really tried this on the floor, but I suppose you could do that. Yes, you can do that version. You could also go right into child or puppy dog if that's more accessible to you. One more breath if you're still there. Bring the hands back out and use them to help you rock yourself back up. Whoop. All right, let's take the right foot forward and we'll head to the same. So right foot forward. And we're going to do those glides into our low lunge. Inhale, open. Exhale, shift back. Half on one. Inhale, shifting. Go on your own breath rhythm. You don't have to follow me, or I was going to say your neighbor. If you've got a neighbor, don't follow them. All right, last one through the shift before we hold. All right, we're going to come here, and again, you can decide what height you're going to be. You can certainly be up on your thigh too. Furniture comes in handy. So we're going to do that pull where the front foot comes in and the back leg comes in. So isometric hold, you're going to pull them towards one another, but they don't actually move, and then release. So we've done an inhale this time, we'll pull together. Exhale, release. One more. More breath here, lower belly expands. Good. And then we exhale, shift back out if you're not already. Because it's your own practice, and part of practicing ahimsa or nonviolence to yourself is coming out of a pose before I say so. All right, so we're starting up tall. I'm gonna hinge forward. That might be my stop point. If you've got more range, you're certainly welcome to go farther. I'm just too much sitting these days, so I've got hamstring tightness, but back stays moderately flat. Okay. Find some ease in your effort, maybe 2 more breaths here. way out of that, we're gonna come back into that pose. So you have the option to do child's puppy dog with higher blocks, or this version of bringing elbows down to the blocks of the floor, palms together, and start to bring them back down towards your back of your neck. Find some ease in your effort, don't force anything. Breath in of the belly, no matter where you are. Exhale, mouth open. All right, bring the hands back out if they're not already. Start to walk yourself back up. All right, let's come into standing. So get off of our knees and our elbows and grab your strap or belt if you got it, or a long sheet, pillowcase. Just get me adjusted here. Okay, so feet are a little bit wide, straps are wide, hold. If you've been with me before for any amount of time, you know where we're going. So here we go. Rising up, in breath. Again, these frontline muscles that are just so tense from just all this stuff going on. What's cool is we have control of our bodies and our breath and our mind, no matter what the world wants us to think. All right, I'm just showing this from the side. You don't have to turn. If you decide you're going to go all the way back, please do not contort yourself to get there. Sometimes just stopping mid-range feels best. So you'll see my spine not moving very much here. I think I'm going to stop somewhere around here. Maybe finishing up the one that you're on. All right. We all will meet at the top. Turn back here. So on the in-breath, that's where we start. Out breath, head over to one side. Inhale your way back up to center and exhale off. Just one more to each. All right, we meet back up at the top. You're going to take the strap or your device back behind you, and I'm going to just show this from the side. You don't have to turn. Take your feet out at least maybe the width of the mat. Pull on the strap on either side, and then we're going to bend at the knees and hinge at the hips. So you're going to keep that flat back, and then start to maybe bring the arms up. They could always stay on your backside. They don't have to lift up. If you feel like you want to lift up, just don't let your shoulders come forward, because that kind of defeats the purpose too. So you're going to pull the shoulder blades back, relax the back of the neck. You could play around here with straightening the legs a little bit if you have that range of motion and you're not working with osteoporosis or osteopenia. One more full breath. Bring the hands closer to your backside if they're not already. Pull on the strap on either side and exhale your way back up. Strong, strong legs. All right. Woo, shimmy, shimmy, shake out. Okay. Let's set the strap down. Set the strap down. I'm going to have you come to the back of your space, the back of your mat. We're just going to start in mountain pose, because that's where I like to come back to with each pose, after each pose. So feet are going to be about hip width apart. I'm going to ask you to spread your toes out. Can't see my toes. There they are. Everybody can see my toes. All right, so pinky down and then drag the other toes towards the center. So you're going to balance out here. And I want you just to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, and just notice where your weight is. Do you feel more weight on one foot than the other? And what do you have to do to come back to center? Do you feel more weight in your heels or your toes? And what do you have to do to come back to center if you're not there already? You're going to send the thighs out a little bit, so get strong through the legs. Palms are going to come forward. I'm going to try to push out into an invisible, I call it door jam. So when I say door jam, this is where we're going to come to. Spreading out into an invisible door jam, like that little game we used to play when we were little, or maybe you still do. All right, and then I say stand down, relax. But we are going to take our weight onto your left foot and either toe plant or lift the right. Oops. Toe plant or lift the right. So you're going to zip up the tight pair of pants. That's going to get you out of this position and up into here. And then we're going to either step, either one or two steps forward, and I'm going to invite you to walk your front foot out just a wee bit. Okay, so you're in a warrior one-ish lunge. Bending into that front knee, which still stays in line with your foot. We're going to rise up, inhale. Good. Exhale, push the air down to arms parallel to the floor. Straighten your front leg. Whoa! All right, from here, we're going to bend in again and cross your left arm over your right. And then maybe bend the elbows. Maybe the backs of the hands come together. Maybe the palms come together. Settling out, you're in warrior one legs with eagle arms. I'll show this from this side. My forearms are coming a little bit away from my face. Shoulders are broad and the back of the neck is long. One more breath, inhale. We're going to bend a little bit more into that. Actually, you know what? Let's straighten out of it just to give it a little break. So straighten out of the front leg first. Bend in again, and I'm going to start to hinge forward from my hips, keeping my arms there. So you just stop when it doesn't feel nourishing to you anymore. So back stays flat. A little bit of work here through the legs. Broaden the shoulders. You can always unclasp the arms and do something like this. One more breath. Good. Exhale, push back away from the floor. Release the arms out to parallel. Reach the sky, bend in one more time. Warrior one, inhale. Reach to the sky, inhale, exhale, push the air back. And then we're gonna step back onto that back leg again. Left leg. So you're either toe planting or lifting the right leg. Zip up those tight pair of pants. One more breath. And we're back to ground. All right, shaky, shake off. All right. So now I'm all switched up. We're onto the right leg, I believe. So spread out those toes, right leg, right foot, and either toe plant or lift the left leg. Zip up your tight pair of pants so you get out of that kind of hip shift. Ooh. All right, and then we're gonna step maybe 1 or 2 steps forward. Walk that front foot out of it. Up here. We're gonna bend in, right foot, right knee. Rising up, warrior one. Soften the arms here, shoulders. Inhale, reach to the sky. Arms come parallel to the floor, straighten the front leg. We're gonna bend in again, cross the right arm over the left. Bend those elbows, and either backs of the hands or the palms are coming together, or you could do a wraparound. So here in our warrior one legs, eagle arms, shoulders broad. You're gonna start to take the forearms away from the wall rather than up towards your face. Back of the neck stays long, and you're breathing. Press slightly through the back toes without lifting the heel. One more breath. Okay, we're going to straighten out just for a moment. Bend in again, and then we're going to start to hinge forward. So back stays flat here, hinging in. You stop wherever you want, which could be back up at the top. Okay, so weight through the front leg, through the back heel. Find some ease in your effort. One more breath, if you're still there. Good, use your next exhale to push up and away. Release those arms to parallel. Next inhale, bend in again, warrior one-ish, soften the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, push the air back and down. We're gonna get some boost. Step back onto that right leg. And either toe plant or lift the left. Good, and then we're back to ground. Shaky, shake out, find mountain pose. All right, find mountain pose. We're good. All right. the right leg out, the left leg is also out. But the right foot is turned towards the front of your mat. The back foot is slightly turned that way as well. Your hip bones are lined up relatively along the long side of your mat, so that when you bend in for a warrior two, that you are, your hips aren't turning that way while your leg's going that way. So just adjust your front knee so that it's still gliding over the front foot. All right, here we go. Let's rise up, inhale. Span out, warrior two, exhale. Maybe turn the palms up, so we're gonna just soften the elbows a little bit. Like you've got you're making a little cup shape with your hands. Find some ease in your effort here. We're gonna turn the back palm, face it down. Take it down the back of your leg and reach that arm towards the sky. You can now add a mudra in, so I add index finger to thumb or middle finger to thumb, or just try reaching the fingers if you like. Exalted warrior. One more breath, reaching. We're going to lengthen and reach forward, forward, forward until you can rest on that front thigh. So palm is in the up, shoulders out of the ear, and I'm going to have you sweep up, up, up. Maybe you stop with the arms straight up. Maybe today you like it over your top ear. You decide. Add mudras in if you like. So hand gestures if you don't know that word. Mudra. Good. Keep pressing through the back heel. One more breath. Reach through that top arm. Okay, you're going to sweep, sweep, sweep that arm back down as we exhale back up. Straighten the front leg. We're going to reach forward, take that front arm down onto your front leg and the other arm up. You might be in the practice where you can come a little bit lower. Just don't let your body start to turn this way. Keep pressing through your toes a little bit. If looking up doesn't feel great, look forward or down. I'm going to look up today. One more breath. Bend into that front knee, back to warrior two. Oh my. Good, reach to the sky, inhale, and we're back to center, exhale. Okay, heel toe or hop those legs in. Shaky shake out if you need it, and then find mountain pose for one breath. Reset. Notice sensations running one side of the body versus the other. All right, you ready? We'll head to the other side. You're going to step that left foot facing the left side of the mat, and your right leg is also going to be either a little bit turned in, that foot, or parallel to the short side of the mat. Line up your hip bones, line up your knee. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. So oftentimes what I see in class is that people are kind of leaning so far forward into their warrior two. I kind of think of this, my body's in the present, front arm is in the future, and back is in the past. You want to be in the present, yeah? So if you're reaching too far forward, I think of that as like striving. Palms are in the up. Soften the elbows, little cup shape with the hands. If your front leg gets tired, just do a little straighten and then go back in. Turn the back palm, face it down, take it down the back leg, exalt your warrior. Add a mudra if you like. If looking up doesn't feel great, just look a little bit more forward or above the horizon. One more breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg just for a moment. Remember where we're going. We're going to reach right back in. Come into side angle. So you're dropping, palm is in the up, shoulders out of your ear, and then we're going to start to sweep up, up, and over. You can stop here where it's straight up, or you may choose to go up over your top ear. Gaze could be forward, it could be down, it could be up. Traditionally, it's up. And keep pressing through your toes just a wee bit. One more breath. Okay, we're going to exhale, sweep, sweep, sweep back down. Straighten the front leg. Reach the arms, take that front arm either down the front thigh or keep it up higher. So you've got this line from arm to arm. Triangle pose. Pressing through the toes to reduce the lockout of your knees. One more breath. Good, bending into the front knee, we're back to warrior two. Woohoo! Good, straighten the front leg, inhale. And exhale. Heel toe or step it back in. Shake off, find your mountain pose. Reset. Notice what's happening one side of the body versus the other. Door jam, pressing outward. All right. Ooh, let's do a little flow of poses to get down to the ground. Forget, we just have an hour, so let's, actually, you know what, let's just head to the ground. It's just easier that way. Let's head back to the ground. I'm going to, where do I want you? Let's have you on your back. So on your back, you can have a little light something under your head. Maybe have your strap close by. Maybe have your blocks close by or pillows or something. Let's bring us back down here. Okay. So let's just take a moment, reach your legs out straight, arms out straight, and just pause. Check in, notice does one side of the body feel longer, shorter, more rotated? Where do you feel the connections of your back and your hips? You're just checking in. It's like you're in mountain pose. All right. You're gonna take your strap, your belt, or whatever tool you've got. And if you don't, just go through the motions without it. So you're gonna take the strap around the ball of your right foot, reach to the sky. And your reaching to the sky might look something like that, and that's okay. You can also bend the left knee if that feels better. So you have options to reach through the arms here or drop the elbows down. All right, reach through both heels. Little space in the low back, so not really arch, not really flat, but somewhere in the middle. Take the straps into your right hand, start to take your left arm out into a T shape, maybe palm down, and start to take that leg out to the side. Unfortunately, I've got some furniture here to catch me, but you might not. You can use your block or something else to catch your leg. What you don't want is that left leg to join you into that rotation. Keep reaching through your heels, find ease in your effort. One more breath. When you're ready to exhale, when you're ready to come up, exhale, bend that knee a little bit as you come up back to the start. Take the straps now into your left hand, take your right arm out into a T shape, and you're gonna start to bring this leg over. I always like to have something to catch me. If you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, just don't go into a full deep rotation here. You can let that bottom foot turn, by the way. You don't have to keep it back where it was. Full breath in, let your right shoulder relax a little bit. All right, when you're ready to come up, bend that knee. Exhale it back up to the start. One more breath. And then we're back to ground. Bring those legs back to where they started and just check in. Notice if anything has shifted. Does one leg feel longer, more rotated? What do you feel on one side? I can tell you one side for me feels just like this tight little like crunch, and the other one's like a noodle, flat noodle. All right, here we go. Other side. Left foot, ball on the foot, strapped. Right leg out or bent, your choice. Pick your arm position, relax your shoulders wherever you've chosen, and find that little space in your low back. Not really arched, not really flat, so more in the middle. the straps into your left hand. You might have something out there to catch your leg. Right arm's gonna be in a T. You're gonna slowly start to bring that leg out to the side. Holy moly. You want that right leg to stay grounded. Nice and ease in your effort. Ready, bend the knee, exhale it back up. Take the straps into your right hand, take that leg over to the side, have something to catch you, block or furniture. Left arm is out into a T. On your exhale, you can let your left shoulder relax a little. Bend that knee a little bit. We're going to exhale back up to the start. Just pause there for a moment. Okay. And then you're exhaling, bring the leg back down to meet the other one and just check in as you did in the very beginning to notice what's going on one side of the body versus the other, what's shifted. Still tight, but more noodly. Okay. Let's come in. I'm going to watch my time. All right, we got some time for one more here before we head in. So let's come in to thread the needle or pigeon on your back. So you can cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Bring that leg towards you. Now, oftentimes the recommendation is to grab behind the thigh, and you can certainly do that. I often like to grab my right hand on my right knee and my left hand on my left foot, and then I can kind of shift that leg around a little bit. And if it's hard to hold your leg at all, you can plop something underneath there like a block so that you don't have to work so hard. That way you can relax your shoulders and your head back. Send your tailbone a little closer to the earth. And breathe. Relax jaw, eyes, shoulders. Cross that leg all the way over, set the foot down, and then you're going to start to let the legs fall over to the left. Right arm can stretch out. I like to bring my right hand to my left hand to my thigh. I'll show this here. So I'm this way. Osteoporosis or osteopenia, folks, just don't overdo this. You're probably stopping somewhere like that. One more breath. Certainly stay longer if you'd like. We're just transitioning through these last few. Uncross, recross, left over right. Get my twist shot here. So again, you can grasp behind that right thigh, or you can grab onto the right foot and the left knee. Left foot with the right hand. Find some ease in your effort. Drop your tailbones towards the ground. To the floor, let the left knee cross all the way over, take those legs over to the right, let your left arm reach out. You can also use a block or something, a pillow to catch you. Catch your legs, two legs to the right. Center, bring those knees in towards your chest, hug in. Wide legs or narrow, your choice. Rock a bit side to side. All right, if there's something your body wants to do before we head into relaxation, you're welcome to. I do hope you'll stay for relaxation because we wind up the practice ending with a breath, a mudra, and gratitude. So it's not as long as when we do it in class, so I think maybe you can handle 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes. So you can put a bolster on a support. or kind of a little elevated throne. That could be one option. You could just lay flat. You can put a bolster under your legs or blocks under your legs or rolled up blanket under your legs. Hands can be on your belly or they can be outstretched. What do you need today? Put a blanket over you if you need it. I'm just going to come to sitting, so if you see me there, that doesn't mean you need to get up. I'm just prepping myself. So I'll take us through a brief guided relaxation. We'll rest for some quiet, and then you'll hear the bells chime 1, 2, and 3. So allowing the eyes to close or keep them open in a steady gaze, your choice. Whatever helps you to tune in and tune out. Smoothing out the skin of the forehead. Softening the space between the eyebrows. Letting that wave continue, relaxing the temples. The eyes are heavy, head is heavy as your thoughts stream away. Joint of the jaw relaxes, creating space between the teeth, letting go of the tongue. Shoulder blades just settle a little heavier to the surface behind you, accepting all of the support from the earth. She's got you. Your mind starts to travel down that next thought story. Just stop it, drop it, let it go. Come back to the sensation of your breath moving in and moving out. You have nowhere to be, nothing to do. These next few moments are yours. becoming a bit more conscious, maybe a bit deeper. As you inhale, let the belly expand, middle ribs, heart space. Slow, steady exhale. How slow can you go? Any mindful movement that you enjoy, take you through some. You don't have to do any. You can strum the tips of the thumb along the tips of each finger, noticing your fingertip for the very first time, or maybe the 100th. Maybe curling in the fingers and the toes on one breath and then releasing them on the next. Progressive relaxation practice. You can roll the wrist or ankles. You can rock the head side to side. You could do a cat stretch or a dog stretch. Bringing your knees to your chest eventually, hugging in, giving yourself a big hug, full breath in and out. Maybe rocking onto one side and pausing there to recall your intention for your day. How is it that you were going to show up today? So you can remember that when we start fretting again later. And if you're ready, you'll start to use that top arm and your exhale to help push yourself back up to sitting. Time here to get back into a seated position, a comfortable seat for our closing. And always end with a mudra, and we're going to add in our mantra that we did earlier, the So Hum, which by the way means I am that. So I am this bell, I am that light, I am the trees, I am the air that we breathe, and the the air that we all breathe, everything, the stars that are in the sky. So I am that. I am that. Nice way to ground yourself. And if you lose the meaning of it and just do the practice, just try it. Try it through these next few days. Okay, so Adi Mudra is where you bring the thumbs in towards the palm and then close the fingers down. And then the palms are down and just resting in your lap. So this one's cool because you can do it almost anywhere, right? You could be sitting somewhere, just anywhere, and nobody's going to really know what you're doing, but you've got this mudra that's supposed to calm and bring a little bit of lowered sense of anxiety. But try it for yourself. You got to know how these things feel for you. So we're in Adi Mudra. Eyes can be open or closed. Shoulders are out of the ears. And we'll practice that mantra again. So on your inhale, silent So. And on your exhale, hum. 4 rounds, 4 or 5. Exhale, just letting go of that practice of mantra, noticing how you feel. All right, from Adi Mudra, we'll move to either Namaste hands, prayer hands, Anjali Mudra, however you like to think of this, or Hridaya Mudra, which is left hand over heart, right hand over back. So whatever feels authentic for you for gratitude. Bow into a place within you where you recognize gratitude to silently acknowledge at least one thing in your life to be grateful for in this moment. This can be very long. Mine is always a rattle off. But let's come to an end, sending this gratitude out beyond the walls that you're in. Palms coming together, holding onto that gratitude real close, at least for the rest of the day. Home ones to seal the deal. If you want to join in from home, you can. I'll take us to the rest to get there. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. A slow breath in to Om. Breathing in and breathing out. Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Spirit in me honors the spirit in you. Thank you for being here and taking care of yourselves, and keep taking care of each other. These are always listed in the playlist, Livestream Yoga. You can catch them anytime over the weekend, on Friday. If you're in pain or you're wondering about some symptoms that you're feeling, I have been offering telehealth sessions for a couple years now. If you've worked with me ever, you know we do a lot of education and coaching and observing your movement, really keen eye for observing movement and breath. So you can do a lot in this kind of setting too. So go to mindbodymovement.org and check out the telehealth session section. So, all right, see you on Monday. So, and if you look in the description, you can see when the class list is. So I'll see you in the space again. Take care, everybody. Bye.